Good evening, everybody. My name is Madison Felt, and this is Teaching Task 1. To begin this problem, I'm going to read our problem out loud, and then I will go through the steps that I took to get the answer to this problem on my handy-dandy whiteboard here, so we can see exactly what I went through. So let's start off with the problem. So the problem is to earn some cash, extra cash, Alex works a part-time job. Last week he spent 2/5 of his weekly paycheck on bills and 1/3 of the remaining amount on gas. The rest of his weekly paycheck was spent on coffee and fast food. The $8 he spent on coffee was 1/5 the amount he spent on fast food. How much money was in Alex's weekly paycheck? So we know that 2/5 of the paycheck was bills, and we know 1/3 of the remaining amount was on gas. So I just wrote that at the top here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to draw a fraction strip of fifths. So we'll split that. So I've got my fraction strip of fifths here, and I'm going to shade in 2 of these because 2 of this was spent on bills. So now we have 3/5 left. But we do know that 1/3 of this 3/5 is spent on gas. So what I did is I took 3/5 minus 1/3, like so. And I used the grid method to solve this, and I'll show you exactly what I did here. So 3/5 minus 1/3. So I drew my boxes. Like so, there's my blank boxes. This one's going to represent 3/5, and this one's going to represent 3/3, or excuse me, 1/3. So the first thing I do is I partition my first box vertically into fifths. So 1, 2, 3. Make it a little more even here, so we can visualize it a little better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not entirely even, but it's pretty close. So I've partitioned that into fives, and now I am going to shade in 3 of those for 3/5. So I'm shading in 3/5. So each of these are 1/5. For next one, I'm going to partition horizontally into thirds, like so. And I'm going to shade in one of those to represent 1/3. Each of these is 1/3. I shaded in one to represent 1/3. Now we are going to combine these. So first, what I like to do is I like to partition your horizontally one and combine that with your vertical numbers just so you can see how many fifths are in a third. So I'll partition these into fifths, like so. It's a lot more helpful to have a different color, but I don't, so I'm just going to make these lines longer. So as we can see, these are split into 5. So there are 5 of those fifths in a third. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to just flip it around, and we're going to partition this one into thirds. So 1, 2, 3, and now it's partitioned into thirds. And since there are 5 shaded in here, I am going to cross out 5 here, and we'll see what we have left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's pretty hard to see, but I did cross out 5 of them here, and we have 4 left. So we have 4 left, and this is combined into 15 parts. So we have 4/15 left over. All right, so we have 4/15 left over. Now, what I did to help visualize a little more is I drew a fraction strip of 15ths to help me visualize the paycheck a little more. So I will draw that out for you guys here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we have 4/15 left of the paycheck. So I'm going to shade in everything except for 4/15. So shading that in here. All right. So I have 4/15 left of the paycheck. This is already spent. The shaded in area. This empty part is what we have left. So now we will jump ahead to solving the amount of coffee or amount he spent on coffee, excuse me, and on fast food. So we know that the $8 of coffee was 1/5 of the amount spent on fast food. So got that written down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a fraction strip of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So a fraction strip of 5. This is the amount spent on fast food here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all spent on fast food. Now there is 5 groups of 8 here. So 5 groups of 8 is $40 in total. So 5 groups of 8, $40 in total. And he spent $8 on coffee. So $40 plus $8 equals $48. It's a little crazy. That's okay. So we know that 4/15 is equal to $48. So 4/15 equal to $48. And I'm going to go back to that fraction strip, and we are going to split those into 15 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we know that. And now we know that each of these little blocks are equal to 8, because that is what we figured out with the fast food and adding on to the coffee. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I'm just writing 8 on each of these so we can visualize that. All right, so each of these are $8. We have 15 groups of 8. Of 8 here. And that's 15 groups of $8, which that is going to be equal to 120. So 15 groups of 8 is equal to $120. So in total, this whole thing represents our paycheck. His entire paycheck was $120. So there's that. I hope that made sense to everybody. And thank you for listening. All right. Bye.